Evaluating functions with variables. So remember that variables are just placeholders for things we don't know. We can interchange the variables as long as we know what they are equivalent to. That's how this works with evaluating functions in general, but also with variables as well. So given f of x equals negative 3x plus 4, find the following. So we're going to use this same equation for lots of examples. So letter A says find f of, and there's a smiley face. So let's do some things that don't actually have numbers or variables. Let's just do odd objects. So because the smiley face is on the inside, that means your x is equal to the smiley face. So all of your x's are going to get replaced with a smiley. So we have f of x equals negative 3x plus 4. That's what we're using. So everywhere we see an x, here and here, we're going to replace it with a smiley. So f of the smiley face is equal to negative 3 times, well, x is not x anymore, x is now a smiley, plus 4. And now I can't do anything else with that because 3 times a smiley and a 4 are not like terms. So this is as far as I can go. We have replaced x with the smiley face, and this is the result. F of the smiley equals negative 3 times the smiley plus 4. Let's try another abstract one. So if I find, because again, it already says find, so we're just going to keep going. Find f of star. Same idea. If the star is on the inside, that means we're going to replace x with the star. So the original equation was f of x equals negative 3x plus 4. And we're replacing x with a star. So both of these x's, so we have f of star equals negative 3 times x is not x anymore, x is now a star, plus 4. And again, this is as far as I can go because 3 star is not the same as a 4. So you will not end up with a single number as an answer. But we've seen that before. That's not new. So try this one on your own. Pause the video and try to find f of question mark. Okay, so let's see. Question mark is inside, so x equals the question mark. So we're going to be able to replace x with the question mark. So our original equation, again, was f of x equals negative 3x plus 4. But we're replacing x with a question mark. Because, again, we don't know what it is. X question mark. So f of question mark is equal to negative 3 times, but x is now a question mark, plus 4. And again, that's as far as I can go. Now, we're going to use this same idea with actual variables now. So remember, negative 3x plus 4 is our equation we're using the entire time. So let's try some actual variables. So let's try letter D. Now we're going to find f of b. So just like the other ones, b is on the inside, which means x is equal to b. So in our original equation, here was the original, f of x equals negative 3x plus 4. We get to replace this x and this x with b. So f of b is equal to negative 3 times b plus 4. Now this I can make at least a little prettier. Negative 3 times b is simply negative 3b plus 4, and then equals f of b. Now, 3b and 4 are not like terms, so this is as far as I can go. Now, I want you to notice a pattern here. Whatever was inside here is the input value here. Whatever's here is the same variable every time. Even the b has a b on the actual right side of my equation. The variables should match. I shouldn't have f of x and then have c's on the inside. So let's try letter E. So letter E is now we're going to get a little more complicated. Find f of c minus 2. So I got two things in there. The process never changes. C minus 2 is on the inside, so that means x equals that c minus 2, the entire thing. X is the whole thing. So here's our original function, f of x equals negative 3x plus 4. So what we get to do is we get to replace this x and this x with the entire c minus 2, both of those variables. So f of c minus 2 turns out to be negative 3 times. Now, this is 3 times whatever x is. Well, x is c minus 2. So there's two things in there now instead of one, plus 4. This we can clean up a little bit. Distribute the negative 3 in, so we get f of c minus 2 equals negative 3 times c makes negative 3c. Negative 3 times negative 2 is a positive 6. Drop the plus 4. And now we can see, are there any like terms that I can combine? And there are. 6 and 4 are like terms. I can't combine all of them, but I can at least combine some of them. So 6 plus 4 makes 10. Now, as far as making sure the variables are the same, there's a c here and there's a c here. Yes, there is this minus 2. Remember, this is what we did to get this part. So this will stay f of c minus 2. So this is what we did to come out with an output of negative 3c plus 10. Those two things are equivalent. And that's as far down as we can get simplified wise because I cannot add a 3c and a 10. Let's try one more before you do a couple on your own. So letter F. Let's find f of 3c plus 4. Okay, so now again, this is inside, so x is equal to the entire 3c plus 4. So in our original equation of f of x equals negative 3x plus 4, we get to replace this x and this x with the entire 3c plus 4. So lots of things get replaced now. So f of 3c plus 4, that's what we're doing, is going to be equal to negative 3 times, instead of an x, we get to write 3c plus 4 because that's what x is the same as. We're replacing x with something else. It's got lots of things, but it's still being replaced. And now we can kind of clean this right side up. So negative 3 times a 3c makes negative 9c. Negative 3 times 4 makes negative 12. Drop the plus 4 on the outside. And drop our f of 3c plus 4. That's still hanging out too. See what I can combine? I can combine negative 12 and 4. So f of 3c plus 4 is equal to negative 9c plus, or minus, 8. And again, this is as far as I can go because I cannot combine a c and an 8. And then this is okay to stay on the left because this is what I did to get out this output. Try a couple on your own. So here's two of them you're going to try by yourself. So you're going to try letter G. You're going to find f of x plus 3. And letter H, we're going to find f of 2x minus 4. Pause the video, see if you can try those two on your own. So let's look at letter G. X plus 3 is on the inside, so we're replacing x with x plus 3. This is kind of weird because I've got, well, two x's. So you've got to think of the single x as like the original x, and the x on the inside, this one, is like the new x. So they're two different x's. They're not the same. So this x and this x get replaced with x plus 3. So we have f of x plus 3 equals negative 3 times. Now this x is going to get taken out, and we replace it with x plus 3. This is where it gets kind of weird because the variables are exactly the same. We're just kind of adding things in. Okay, and now we're going to distribute. We're going to simplify this guy down. So f of x plus 3 equals negative 3 times x made negative 3x. Negative 3 times 3 is a negative 9. Drop the plus 4. And then combine if you can. You may not be able to, but this time we can. Negative 9 plus 4 makes negative 5. So f of x plus 3 turns out to be negative 3x minus 5. So notice how the original equation and the new one are different. So this is what we did to get this guy. We replaced x with x plus 3. Let's try h. So again, this is on the inside, so that means x gets replaced with 2x minus 4. So here was our original, f of x equals negative 3x plus 4. That was the original. So we're going to be replacing all the x's with 2x minus 4. So we get f of 2x minus 4 equals negative 3 times 2x minus 4, because that's what the new x value is, and then the plus 4 on the outside. Distribute and combine if you can. So negative 3 times 2x makes negative 6x. Negative 3 times negative 4 is a positive 12. And we're going to drop down the plus 4. So we get f of 2x minus 4. I can combine 12 and 4 together to get 16. So f of 2x plus minus 4 equals negative 6x plus 16. We're making a new equation by replacing x with something different. And the last one, letter I. So we're going to find f of negative 3x squared minus x plus 1. So just like before, all of this replaces my x. X is going to be equal to negative 3x squared minus x plus 1. Those two things are going to be replaced. So here was the original, just so we have it in front of us, negative 3x plus 4. And we're replacing this x and this one with this giant thing up here. So we get f of negative 3x squared minus x plus 1 is equal to negative 3 times this x is replaced with all three terms up here. Everything. Negative 3x squared minus x plus 1. That's all the old x. And then plus 4. So just like before, we're going to simplify this as best we can. So we get f of negative 3x squared minus x plus 1 is equal to negative 3 times negative 3x squared is a positive 9x squared. Negative 3 times a negative x is a positive 3x. Negative 3 times 1 is a negative 3. Drop the plus 4. Now, the only thing we can combine on the right is the negative 3 and the 4. 9x squared and 3x are not like terms. I need the same variable and the same exponent. So because this guy's missing a square, I can't combine those. So we just have to drop 9x squared plus 3x. But these two I can combine. Negative 3 plus 4 is a positive 1. So this would be the new resulting equation by replacing x with negative 3x squared minus x plus 1. So when you replace x with other variables, so if I replace x with something else with an unknown, you're going to end up with still variables in your answer. I can't get to a single number because I still don't know what x actually is. I replaced it with another variable. So you will not get x equals 4 as an answer.